Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing dragon readings. I'm so happy to be able to do dragon readings because this dragon was trapped at my office for all the time we were working from home, and we're still working from home, but I got to go in and get him. So now I have the three dragonkin. I have a drake, I have a wyvern, and I have a dragon. And feel into which one of these has a message for you about how to access your power. And I'm going to put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you there. Bye! Hello to everyone who selected the drake. So, everyone who was called to by the drake, look, his mouth opens and everything. It's so cool. Anyway, I'm going to move the drake over here, and let's see what message the drake has for you all about how to access your power. So first, I'm going to throw down I probably should have shuffled these beforehand, so I'm going to shuffle them now. I'm going to throw down a dragon tarot card, and that'll set the stage, and then I'm going to do a reading with the Black Walnut runes. And we are going to see how you're going to access your power. Okay, so we have Five of Pentacles. You're feeling a bit shut out, but right now this is sort of like how to reclaim that. So you're sort of grounded at the moment, feeling a little bit shut out, but we're gonna find how to get around that and how to reclaim your power. So that's exciting. So let's see what the Black Walnut runes have to say. Already like three came out, two came out right away, and they're not even upright yet. So let's actually throw them all down and see what we get. Oh, look, these are coming up reversed. This is neat. I mean, like upside down. Okay, that one. So it looks like you're going to succeed very well. The only one that came upright, the only one that came right side up was the ending, which is very exciting, which is Yira, but we'll get to that. Oh, you see that? This cat needs her claws clipped. I was playing with her this morning and she went crazy and she got me a little bit. So it's like, all right, that's all right. She's a funny cat. Okay, so your central issue is, it looks like there's been a kind of a turning away from the identity that you had grown, and you're sort of incubating a new identity. This may also be turning away from family or sort of family trauma and family, something that is basically you've had to turn away from, where you weren't getting any sort of support or nourishment. This won't apply to everybody. This is just going to be like some of you, but in general, the feeling is you're turning away from something that you considered an identity that you grew and developed. And so you're feeling a bit shut out at the moment, and you want to regain some of that. So how are we going to do that? First of all, leading up to that, you were not feeling very strong or healthy. You were feeling like, you had your inner strength, which is what carried you to turning around. But we have Uruz reversed. Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. It has to do with strength and health reversed on the path line. It's like you've just come through a situation where you have not been feeling as strong as you would like to. You've not been feeling as healthy as you'd like to. So if you're coming from a situation that was not strong and not healthy for you, the Drake says, turn away. Just basically you're turning away from that now. That's actually where we're at now. This is in the past. This is where you are now, where you're turning away from this situation that was not good for you healthily or strongly. It wasn't good for your strength, it wasn't good for your health, and so you're turning away from it. You're basically, they think they shut you out, but you shut them out, is the reality of it. It's like, so you don't banish, I banish you. This is Coriolanus reference because I'm a Shakespeare nerd. So basically, here you are in this situation now where you have turned away from an identity that you grew very, very naturally in your life and was very much a part of your identity, just sort of from a yin perspective of an identity that you grew and that was possibly family related. But you're turning away from that now. You're striking out. So you don't have much in the way of resources at the moment. You feel like, well, they want you to feel shut out, but you actually are the one who turned away from them and you are shutting them out. Or even if this is just your past identity that maybe brought you some things that were relatively sheltering, but are what basically were draining you. So anyway, what do we do? What's going to help? Well, what's going to help is embrace this new journey. You're setting out. This is a quest. So you're actually on a new journey at this point. You're starting out. It's exciting. It's fun. Fun, even fun. And you're just setting out and just embrace that, because that's what's going to help you, is just basically embracing this journey. This journey is how you're going to grow. The new things that are going to nourish you, the new things that are going to become who you are. So this is basically, honor what was, but as I said recently, don't let their having ended mean that you have to end too. You have not ended. You haven't ended yet. So anyway, what won't help is it is feeling very chaotic. I'm sorry, I haven't been introducing these. Berkana reversed. Berkana is the birch tree rune, has to do with beginnings and birth. Raido is the rune of riding, it has to do with the journey. And this is Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm, and it has to do with chaos and destructive forces and natural forces, but basically you're just feeling like everything is just in upheaval, and that can drag you down if you sort of let yourself get overwhelmed with that. Because as the Drake says, if you don't have wings, you're on the ground. So the hail that is coming, you are subject to, but you are armored, you are inwardly strong, says Uruz. So if you start to feel like this is crazy, this is all like everything is whipping at me and we have the storm, I'm in the storm, bring yourself out of that. Take a deep breath and just look around and say, look, this is my journey, this is my quest, and yes, it's going to be a bit uncomfortable and it's going to feel a bit chaotic. But this is where I'm at now, and this is the quest that I am taking that's going to bring me to somewhere healthier and stronger than where I was when I turned away from all this. So what this will lead to, and this is why I said it has a happy ending, which is great because it turned up right away. We have Yira. Yira is the rune of the year, so there may be a time component of a year or perhaps a season for this to come to be. Or, for things like this, time is not calendars and clocks, time is events. So it will come and it will feel like it came quickly as far as from where you are now to where you're going. But it's also the rune of the harvest, and it's basically what you planted has now come up. The fruits of your labors are now in your hand at this point. So just a couple more steps into your quest and you will already be seeing the fruits of your labors. And so do not regret this moment. Do not regret where you are now. Just pick up and consider it a quest. Yes, it's going to feel a bit chaotic, but it's your quest. It's your quest, and you are going towards health and strength, which was what you didn't have before. So you will get there. It's not even going to be very long. I don't even think it'll be a year, but I guess that's in there because that's the name of the rune, is Yira. But it's also the harvest rune, so it won't feel like very long because this is literally the next step. So it looks good. It looks good, Drake people. So you're gonna get there. You're gonna have the fruits of your labors. You're gonna be getting what you set out to get. The treasure. You're gonna get the treasure for your quest. So that, Drake people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, wyvern people. So we have a wyvern here. I'm gonna move the wyvern over here so that it can oversee what the reading is. I'm going to draw a card from the Dragon Tarot. 2 cards wanted to come up. Okay, let's actually do them this way. That's really interesting. For you guys, you get 2 cards. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is you're setting out in search of, driven towards seeking something with stability, with groundedness, with practicality, and with riches and all that good grounded stuff. And where you're going is you're looking for guidance. You will be guided, and this is exciting. So let's get you there. So going to the Black Walnut runes, let's see what we have for how to get to where you're going. Okay, neat. Okay, that's neat. I'm just going to turn them as we go. Okay. Okay. Well, that's interesting. We saw Berkana reversed in the last reading as well. And finally, to get us to the star, wait a minute, that one doesn't want to come out. Let's see what one does want to come out, because that's your message. All right. Took a while, but there you go. Okay, interesting. So your central issue right now is Pertho. Pertho is the rune of the lot box. Straighten these a little bit. Pertho is the rune of the lot box, and so in the old days, these runes predate the Vikings, but the Vikings used to actually see how lucky they were every day by casting lots. And they say, oh, you know, Bjorn's lucky today. Or, you know, Ulf is not. So, anyway, luck was considered to be something that, like, internal weather. So I just coined that in terms of, like, I haven't thought of it that way before. So you've had a surprise recently, but the surprise that you've had is something that was already there, and it's sort of about, you know, surprises, fate, luck, and it's like, here, this is in my plate. What led up to this was you've been feeling very strong. You're feeling very strong, very grounded, very healthy. This is Uruz, which is the wild ox, the aurochs, and it has to do with strength and health, vitality, and all that. And this actually ties in with the Knight of Pentacles. So just sort of setting out with this inherent strength and health on a practical path to seek out perhaps riches, which would be good. Why does he have the dragon on a chain? That's not a chain, is it? Don't put a dragon on a chain. Anyway, sorry, it's the illustration. Maybe they just like each other a lot. Anyway, so we have the Knight of Pentacles who set out on that quest with all the strength, and here you've just discovered something. Something has just revealed itself as a surprise, but a surprise that's always been there. So it's quite exciting, which is where you're at now. What will help you in this situation? We have Berkana reversed. Now Berkana is the rune of beginnings and birth. It's the birch tree rune. Reversed on the upper line, I'm going to read this a couple ways. One, you're going to be turning away from an identity that was like a yin identity, something that you grew in the past. This may be family related. This may be about turning away from sort of, not family obligations so much, but like the family pattern, the family, I don't want to say trauma because it's in the upper line and it's actually, it's what's going to help you, but maybe helping you would be turning away from the family trauma, but something to do with possibly family that isn't serving you, and you want to actually start incubating a new yin identity. So you want to start growing make a new beginning internally to start with, to grow this part of yourself that's the naturally growing identity that you have. And that's what's going to help you, especially with this surprise that you've just had. It's like, you know what, now that I've had this surprise, what I had before that I grew naturally, that I didn't really pay much attention to, isn't serving me anymore. So I'm just going to sort of close the book on that, and I'm going to start incubating a new identity of that. I'm going to start growing myself in a way that supports me better, that actually works harmonically with this surprise that I've just had. What won't help is basically doing nothing. We have Isa, which is the rune of ice. That's the rune of standstill. Things frozen. Clarity if it was on one of the upper lines, but honestly, I mean, unless it's the clarity of this sudden surprise that you've had and that it's stopped you in your tracks, I would see this more as inaction is going to be the worst thing you could do at this point. That's actually not going to help you. What is going to help is recognizing that what you had developed before based on what you didn't know, based on what you knew at the time but that you didn't know was going to be revealed to you, that's not serving you anymore. And so to do nothing, to know that and continue to do nothing, is going to basically drag you down. You're not going to move forward from this spot. So you will actually want to start paying attention. You hear all that? That's like leaves hitting the window. I don't know if you can hear that crackling noise. It's windy out, and all the last of the leaves of the maple tree are hitting our window, which is exciting. I've got a little percussion section for your reading. So yes, basically identify that something in who you were before, the identity that you built, that you grew naturally, sorry, didn't build, it was a natural sort of occurrence, is no longer serving you. You want to turn away from that and start growing on this new journey that you're having, like on this new quest that you've started towards something grounded in riches and all that good stuff. is something where you're going to be developing something new about yourself. You're going to be growing a new identity that is going to serve you a lot better. And the next step on the path is Ivaz. Ivaz is the yew tree rune. It has to do with patience and slow development, slow growth. So you know that this is going to be a journey that's going to be a step-by-step kind of thing. It's not going to be something you can do in a day. It's going to be something where every step is essential. Every step is growing towards the you that you want to be. And the other dragon card that came out is the Star, and the Star is all about guidance. So basically letting yourself be guided by what you recognize as your power, when it gets nourished, how you feel powerful. And also, if you have, just to be guided, let yourself be guided, not by other people, but by what guides you, by what resonates with you and guides you forward. And that, Wyvern people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, dragon people. So we have our beautiful gold dragon about to give you a good instruction on how to tap into your power and lead it where you need to go. So let's see, first of all, what dragon card wants to come up for this. Actually, I think I'm going to do 2 again for this, which is interesting. The last one 2 came up. The first one, only 1 came up. The last one 2 came up, and then this one's sort of like, and maybe me too. So, so right now where we're at 2 of Pentacles. You are balancing, and it's successful. How long you can do it, I don't know, but it's working for you. And so you do have guidance. You do have someone watching out for you, whether that's here or in the NOR, non-ordinary reality. But you are balancing. You are able to balance your power at this point. Ooh, look at all the dragons in the picture. It's really cool. It's all dragons. So right now that's where you're at. Where you're going is sort of like it looks like that you have sort of, you're sharing, I'm not interpreting this as normal tarot, because as far as the picture goes, it looks like you're sharing your power. Like you started out with these, and then now you're sort of sharing your emotions for for these, because these are the watery dragons. So let's see where the runes get, and I think that'll actually clarify what this is saying unusually to what the 6 of Cups normally is about. So let's see what we get. Ooh, interesting. So you're sort of in a place of standstill at the moment. We have Isa, which is the Rune of Ice. This tarot is a little bit different from regular tarot, and a lot of the meanings are a little bit different based on what the artwork is. And so I want to honor that. I want to honor that. Okay, so our central issue here is Isa. Isa is the Rune of Ice and standstill and clarity. So you're coming from a situation. I'm just going to go straight to the leading up rune. We have Hagalaz reversed, Hagalaz is the rune of the elk, otherwise known as the moose. I'm going to move this up because this is like way the heck at the bottom of the reading. Like, what the heck? It's like everything's cut off at the bottom. Okay, so Hagalaz is the rune of support and protection, and it is reversed, and it's on the path line, which says to me that you've been doing a lot of your own supporting. You've been protecting yourself, you've been standing up for yourself, you've been supporting yourself, and that's a balance, and that's what you're doing here. Leading up to that, though, you've had a moment of clarity. It's sort of like things haven't been moving from this. It's like, yes, I can do this all day, but I don't want to have to do this all day. I don't want this to be my life now, like forever. I don't want to be stuck in this. I don't want this to be frozen in this way, which is what Isa is sort of saying, referencing to that. So what will help? Look to your heart. We have Laguz, which is the rune of the lake. It's a watery rune, so all the watery stuff, emotion, intuition, heart, all of that kind of good thing. Basically become very heart-centered. I think you've been very focused on just getting through things. We have the Pentacles referencing sort of very practical groundedness. But now you want to bring in, and I'm just saying this because this is actually calling in what this is, which is the watery dragons, and the cups, which is the water sign, water element. So you really want to call in that watery element into your life, which will help you help you with this. It'll help you deal with getting away from this situation where you're just balancing and just surviving. Call that in. Access your heart. Like, listen to your heart. I know that sounds corny, but you wouldn't believe when you actually do. You actually literally get messages from the heart, and it's very exciting. What won't help is we have Avaz. Avaz is the rune of the horse, and it has to do with movement, also spirit, but I'm seeing this more as movement. Right now, you feel things are frozen, but running around is not going to help. In fact, that might disrupt your balance, so try not to do that. Keep doing what you're doing, but now bring in the element of water, bring in the element of the heart and emotions and intuition. And that will lead you to, oh my gosh, I just realized this is the second reading of this set that we've seen Yira as the end. Yira is the rune of the harvest, and it has to do with the fruits of your labors happening. It also has to do with time, so the time has ended from before. You've completed a season of what you were doing before. And so this is really, really good. So when you access your heart and when you start calling in the emotion and the watery element stuff, that's actually going to complete this period of time, this season that you were in. And that will actually lead you to a point where it's not so much balance. You could see this still as balancing, but you're going to be more enriched, maybe not richer, but your life is going to be richer as far as you're going to have that emotional element, and you're going to feel a lot more connected with this other. Maybe there will be, for some of you, there may even be somebody that you will actually notice in the same situation as you that you can relate to when you get to this point. So that's exciting. That's your reading, dragon people. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.